Hey guys, it's DarudeLeafStorm here, and I'm here with week 1 of the IBL. This week, we are taking on Sven and the Upsala Umbreons. Guys, IBL is back. What? We're back. San Jose Pancakes are back, and we are here with week 1, back in the IBL, and we're gonna get straight into it. So, first things first, I did have a live comm of this battle, however, my microphone was not working to its full capacity at all. Everything should all be good now. So, yeah, I'm just going to quickly run through my team that I'm bringing. So, I'm bringing Joy Scarf Greninja. This is my Valiant offensive check. So, as you can see, my team very much struggles with Valiant, and it does all over, to be honest with you. But, you know, Valiant... We're going to try, okay? And we got Gren, so... And Gren has a pretty good matchup here. You know, we can kind of scout whether the Clodsire is Water Absorb or Unaware. More than likely, Water Absorb. I do have 2 Water types on my team, so... I could see why it would be Water Absorb. But it does have a very solid matchup in this game. If he Scarf Meow, which I am expecting, to be honest... it does underspeed Gren. Sorry, it outspeeds Gren is what I meant to say. Gren underspeeds Meow. So that we need to watch out for. And you know, it's an offensive check in case he's DD Mence, DD Mew. It's a solid bring, this game, I think. I've got my Babiri Berry Hatterene. Babiri, obviously, for the Heatran. This one is my designated lead this game. I've got BP, D-Gleam, Psychic, and Healing Wish on this one. I've got Life Orb, Sub-Nasty Plot, Lando. Which, you know, looking at this team, like, it's going to have to be, like, defensive Mence to take a hit. Other than that, if Mence dies, Earth Power's looking pretty spammable versus this team. I've got the MVP of the squad, Layla. Layla's making her debut in week 1. We're Terra Ground this week. We're QD, Sleep Powder, Terra Blast, and Hurricane. As a late game Mon, this Mon is going to go crazy. Like, if you just look at his team, it's actually going to go wild. So, next up we have Aloe. Mixed defensive Aloe this week. Just basically a sort of backbone. It can take any hit from Valiant that isn't boosted. So, you know, like, I think I can take a +2 attack, obviously from full. Specs, I won't be able to take 2, but if he's not Specs, I'm taking 2 Moonblasts. It's basically the idea. Okie dokie is like a pretty defensive set this week. And it's fucking Rocky Helmet to punish Meow, basically. So let's get into this bloody game. Oh, I forgot to mute the volume. My microphone was rubbish this game, so I'm just gonna quickly mute that. And we're gonna get right into it. Like I say, my lead is always Hat. I think as an overall lead, it is pretty good into him. Obviously, the only thing being Heatran, but I don't really want him to get rocks up. It's not like a major thing versus my team, but, you know, if I'm trying to get as much momentum as possible, it's just nice to play without rocks, right? So, yeah, we're going to lead with Hat, and let's get into it. I'm very excited to see how we get on. You know, we could potentially pick up a big dub week 1, which would be massive, actually. That would be big. Just turn this down a little bit, and hopefully we just get straight into it. So yeah, week 1 we're playing Sven. Really nice person. Got to chat a little bit, obviously, while scheduling the game, and obviously afterwards as well. So yeah, to be fair, all the coaches in the IBL have been very sound so far. So, you know, it's very nice to have a nice little community going. And even the non-coaches, they've been super sweet. So it's been very nice to be back and better than ever, hopefully. I mean, you know, we got a couple of draft leagues. Whoa, that was a lot of noise. Sorry about that. Just dropped my Vaseline everywhere. We got a couple of draft leagues under our belt now. You know, we went from having no experience to, I think I've been in like 3 draft leagues this gen so far. It's not like an incredible amount, but incredible background there, Sven. Love that. And he's going to lead with Meow. Okay. Pretty good lead for me, to be honest. Well, okay, up to a point. So obviously I know he's going to click U-turn here, and I want to punish that straight away. So, you guessed it, I'm going out into Okie Dokie. If he knocks me off, it's not the biggest deal in the world, because then I can just kind of fire off an attack, and he doesn't really have the best switch-ins to Okie. I can fire off a knockoff pretty freely. Poison Jab is also an option that I can click. Yeah, overall pretty good. I am actually Guard Dog this week. Obviously, it could be Intimidate Ments, which is one reason why I brought it. The other reason was I didn't want Toxic Chain getting in the way of Sleep Powder Viv. I didn't really think of that little synergy when I drafted these mons, but, you know, that's okay. Guard Dog is perfectly fine. So, we are going to swap out into Okie Dokie. This one's for you, Brandon. Big boy's in. And he's going to click U-turn. And we can see right now whether he's pads or not, which he's not. So like I say, I'm expecting Scarf. He's not banded from the damage, so I'm expecting like IBL, Scarfed, one of the two. But if he was Sash, I've just broken it, you know. So all is well. And now we can see kind of what his answer to this is. Obviously, he's got Ments, he's got Mew, which Mew is his selected option here. I think it's a pretty safe option for him. And now I'm looking at my team. I don't really want Hatterene taking too much damage early. I mean, I was considering it, but the chances are he's not clicking T-Bolt on this turn. And I know that my Gren can live any hit, and I kind of want to get some, well, I say any hit. If he clicks T-Bolt, obviously I'm dead. But chances are he's not clicking that. He's going to click Psychic. He's going to click like Earth Power, something to hit Earthquake. Could potentially set up a DD, which is why I didn't really want to go hard Hatterene. So I felt like overall my safest bet was to go out into Gren. To be honest, I was kind of shitting myself at this point in the game, because if he's DD, this is already a huge threat. So I was half tempted to stay in, but I didn't want to lose Oki that early and not have a lot for Meow. So I am going to make the aggressive play into Greninja. And yeah, we're going to see what he's going to do. Hopefully not T-Ball or Earth Power. I mean, Earth Power is completely fine. You know, it does a decent chunk, but it's fine. It's livable. I don't really need a lot of health from this mon. I just kind of need it alive, sort of thing, you know? So here I'm calculating the damage, and I see that he's pretty invested. So I now know that he's a specially offensive Mew, basically. I'm looking at his team, and I'm thinking, what should I do here? I believe I just go for a U-turn, trying to keep up momentum, which I do. I do, in fact, click U-turn. And I'm kind of, I mean, hindsight is 50-50, right? I could probably click an attack here. But I kind of wanted to see what his answer to this was, and he does bring in the Valiant. Very aggressive play on his end. If I clicked Hydro, which, I mean, would I have clicked it on that turn? Possibly. I picked up a big kill there, but alas, here we are. And obviously I'm going to go right into Hat, and I'm going to click Baton Pass straight away. Heat trans switching is obvious, so, you know, I kind of want to keep up momentum on that end. In the early goings, on this turn specifically, I'm starting to look at his team and think, I need to start getting stuff done, because otherwise we're going to be in this vicious cycle. And I can't switch in Gren on Earth Power every single time, you know? It's only going to take 2 more and then it's done. So I need to kind of get out the cycle. I kind of get some braking going, some momentum on my side. I mean, momentum I've been keeping up with pretty well so far. It's just more so the fact that this is no use without any hazards or anything. You know, we're switching a lot, and if I got a hazard up, then it would be racking up and really doing the work right now. But alas, I don't. So I am obviously going to click BB here, and we know what the switching is going to be. We're going to go right out into Lando. You know, he doesn't know if I'm Scarfed, he doesn't know if I'm Life Orb, so even if he is Scarfed himself, he's not going to risk it. Even if he shook her, there's no way he's staying in here. So, I believe I am going to click sub this turn. It's just kind of my game plan going into this. The game plan in prep as well. I thought if I can kind of see what his answer is to Lando and then kind of go from there. I mean, his earth power switching, his ground switching is the Salamence. But you know, I thought he could be potentially a bulky Mew. I mean, Mew's taking a crap ton anyway. So I'm going to get my sub off. And, you know, I'm still thinking he might have just made, this might just be an aggressive switching, right? Like, he could still be scarfed. I'm still going to scout psychic damage because that information is going to be so crucial. So I am going to click the psychic this turn. And as you see, it does, you know, not an awful lot. So now I find out that he is, in fact, Spadef. And he goes to dual wing beat, and I'm like, oh, forgot that move existed. But obviously, thank God, one hit doesn't do 25% and break my sub. So yeah. Now I know what this Salamence is about. Can't quite actually remember who I go into here. It's looking like Alum. And it is in fact going to be Alum. So I'm going to withdraw. My girl Rose is going to come in. Look at this girl. I love Alum. And he just goes for Roost. Very respectable, you know. Like, if he clicks anything other than that, like, I can continue chipping him down. I mean, potentially I could have just stayed in and spam Psychic, but I didn't want to play that game in case he went in out into Meow or, you know, anything like that. I mean, maybe I should have played that game. You know, I do have... maybe I should have. Now looking back at it, like, maybe I should have just stayed and then keep on spamming Psychic. Because even if he went Meow, I have Oki. So yeah, maybe, like I say, hindsight's 2020, right? Definitely a lot of things I could have done earlier on here, I feel like. But Valiant's gonna come in, and you know, we're gonna get BP off. And you know, and keeping up momentum, like I'm kind of feeling myself at this point. I'm starting to feel like, you know, I've got a late game option, right? You know, I can see the VIVILLON vision, you know? I can see it happening. So, I'm going to bring Hattery. I'm going to click BP again. Like, I just think, imagine if I had a spike up this game, you know? Like, this would have been such a different game so far. Now, this is my first thing. I click Psychic this turn because, you know, I clicked BP last time and I was thinking, you know, if he wants to stay in with Valiant and I kill it, which he would never do. Like, I don't understand. He would never do that, right? So my play there was probably always to BP. However, you know, I clicked Psychic. It's fine. We're here now. If he did stay in for whatever reason and I killed Valiant, like, that was game changing, you know? So click Lava Plume, doesn't burn me. I get my BP off. And I'm, God, voice crack, man. What's going on? And I'm going to go out into Lando. It's just, like I say, it just threatens this thing massively. And now I know he's lefties. Now I know he's not Shuka. Now I know he's not Scarf. You know, I did still learn a lot of info about this Heatran. 4 health on my Hat, which isn't the best, considering, like, Hat is, like, my sort of safety net over Gren. You know, like, I've got Gren as my offensive check. Hat is sort of my defensive check. Here I'm thinking what to do. But I am just going to click... Do I click... I believe I click sub here. Like I say, I felt like it was my safest option. Oh, I clicked Nasty Plot straight up. I guess that's very fair as well, to be fair. Risky, you know, if he went Meow here, like, that threatens me out. But I do have Dogi in the back. So I can always punish Meow if it comes in. So we're going to get Nasty Plot off, and this is where I'm like, right, I need to start doing some breaking. I need to start killing some mons. Like, things need to happen here. So, Psychic is going to come off. And, you know, +2 Psychic is easily going to 2-hit KO this mon now. He's going to get a dual wing beat off on me, which, you know, does a decent chunk, but he has no rocks on his side, nor am I going to try and let him get them up either. So, Lando is still looking pretty fine. With his speed tiers left on his team, like, he's got quite a fast team. So other than getting this in on BP, through Heatran. It's not looking too amazing for the end game, but, you know, it broke Salamence, and that's one less Hydro Pump switch in for Gren. The only other one being the Meowscarada, which obviously I need to kill, basically, before Gren can do anything in the late game. So, I'm going to click Psychic again. Mensa's going to go down, and that is big. Big, big moves. Got a crit there. You know, would have been nice the first turn, but don't want the hacks, you know? Sweep 1. This game is already like, you know, it's slowly, the attrition, it's wearing off, and in it comes Big Boy Valiant. Now he knows I'm not scarfed. You know, I'm like, well, Aloe's here for this mon, so let's bring it in. And we can see what kind of Valiant we're dealing with here. Very, very scary mon. And he's going to click Moonblast. Yeah. Specs Valiant. Specs Valiant. So, you know, looking at it, should I have sat Lando there? You know, maybe. But I don't know what Aloe was going to do much this game, apart from be a free pivot for Heatran. But yeah, so here I'm going to sack Aloe to the second Moonblast, and now we know that we're dealing with a very scary monster in Valiant. So here, I am going to go out into Gren, I believe. It's either that or Oki. I believe it's Gren. Or it might be Ha, actually. Should we see what, before I make the call, let's just see what we're going to go out into. Because I actually can't quite remember. Because I think Hat does live a hit from this point. Like, very, very close, but it still does. And, like, Gren's Hydro Pump is obviously doing a tremendous amount to this thing. And at this point, he still doesn't know what kind of Gren I am, so... yeah, so I am going to go into Hatterene. Like I say, I can live a hit from this mon at this point. So, and I immediately threaten it with a Psychic or a D-Gleam. Which I am going to click Psychic. Again, obviously it's obvious, but you know, it's just claimed a life on my team. So I don't really want to have to deal with this mon as much anymore. So I am going to click the Psychic. It's going to do not an awful lot. And here, I believe, I can't remember whether I BP or I go, I think I go hard Gren, you know. I could be wrong, I could BP here, but I have a feeling I go Gren. Because I've seen that he's sort of defensive Tran, and I know I can take a hit from this mom. So I believe I go hard into it. I do. Now, again, probably should have just BP'd with Hat and got in Lando. He doesn't have us Lando switching anymore. Like, Meowscarada's taking... I mean, we can find out right now, actually, together how much Meow is going to take from this mom. But you've guessed it. I'm just going to quick Hydro Pump this turn. There's not a chance I'm clicking anything else. Oh, and he does get the burn on me, which, you know, is big, but, you know, it's Lava Plume, and he didn't get the burn earlier, so I'm not too fussed about it. So I am going to connect the first Hydro Pump, and we just leftover saves his life, and he gets the rocks up, which is massive. It's so big. So Life Orb Earth Power is doing like 58 min to Meow, and you know I have an Okie Dokie that's just sat there, and it can just chip away at this Meowscarada. So definitely probably should have just BP'd out into Lando and just claimed one. But I am going to go for another Hydro Pump, and I missed the second. But, you know, it's just I've put myself in that situation, and now I've lost my offensive answer to Valiant. Now looking back at the game, obviously I can see the mistakes, and I think, you know, I would have been in a much better position had I just clicked BP. But the VIVILLON late game is still there. It's still a thing. And I decided I'm just going to go for it now. I'm going to go for it right now. So in she comes. In comes Layla. And we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna see if my girl can do this right here, right now. So I believe I TERA straight away, which, should I have done that? Probably not. Probably not. I probably should have. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I TERA'd straight away. I definitely did not need to. I think I was sort of expecting Claude to come in, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure why I TERA'd straight away there. Anyway, I'm going to go for the sleep powder. And the only mon that's really standing in my way right now, in my head, is Claude Sire. If that mon's unaware, then, you know, it's an issue. Like, I have to basically go for Hurricane Confusions, but I do know that I have Healing Wish Hat in the back. So if it gets a bit messy versus Claude, I still have another chance to win with this mon. So here I am going to click QD. I'm thinking, this is looking good. This is looking really good right now. You know, if Heatran wakes up, I live a hit from it. He's going to withdraw. I'm thinking Claude's coming in here. In comes Meow. Such an aggressive play, but excellent, excellent work. So Meow's going to come in. And you know, this is confirming that this is in fact Scarf Meow. So I'm like, right, I've burnt my sleep, I've burnt my TERA. Well, not burnt it, but you know, like, he knows I'm TERA ground now, which, I mean, pretty obvious for the matchup, but now I am the ground type. I can't play that mind game anymore. He's obviously just going to go for Flower Trick. He's not going to risk the VIVILLON right there. He's not going to disrespect it, which is good. But he's going to go for the Flower Trick. Oki does eat that, but so unfortunate. So unfortunate there. But I'm thinking, you know, all I've got to get is either this mon dead, or, you know, he lets me get 2 Quiver Dances up, and this is still an endgame, you know? VIVILLON is looking excellent right now. So he is going to withdraw Meow, and he is going to bring in Bob, the Clod. And it is, and Clod size is so funny on Wi-Fi, like, he's such a small boy. So I'm going to knock off his Black Sludge there. I'm thinking, what do I do here? What's the game plan? You know, I've got Ice Punch, so I can kind of weaken this thing down. Hat's still in the back. Like, I'm not afraid of this mon, really. I'm thinking, you know, Lando can come in, and I can probably, I mean, without rocks, I would have probably lived a hit and a potential poison. So I was like, that's a potential option. And I do go for that. I do go for the Lando option here. He is going to click Earthquake, which is perfect. And, you know, Lando's in. This mon is very strong versus him. So I am going to click Earth Power, I believe. But it's kind of crazy. I can't remember what HP my Lando was at. I think it was like 91, something like that. So, like, if he didn't get rocks up on that potential roll, I think it was actually a roll in his favor to live anyway. But, you know, if he didn't get rocks up on that potential roll, then Lando would have been able to get a sub up here, which, you know, would have been massive. Or, you know, would have been able to get a sub up at some point. You know, he's got a sleeping Heatran. If I take advantage of that somehow, then Lando's going to go in. But anyway, here we are. And, you know, I can click Earth Power here. But the big thing is, there's a Specs Valiant in the back. And if that one comes in at that point, I just lose the game. So I actually have to double from Lando out into my VIVILLON, because I cannot let the Valiant come in on Viv like that. And he does get the poison on the first poison jab, which is unfortunate, but like I say, I've still got Healing Wish support in the back, so it's not the biggest deal. But I was thinking, you know, if he stacked Heatran or anything like that, like, I'm in range now of where Valiant can just kind of click buttons and win the game. So I need to put myself in a position where I've got the Quiver Dancers up with Layla, and I can just win this game. So I am going to click Hurricane this first turn, try and get a confusion on this mom, which I do get immediately. And we're going to see, are you going to hit yourself? Because Earthquake doesn't kill me, but it still does a decent chunk because I am a VIVILLON. And he does hit himself, which is very nice. A little bit of justice there. I'm thinking, like, with this mom weakened now, like, VIVILLON is looking really, really good. Like, if I can get the position that I want to get in, this mom could be picking up 5 kills right now. So, I'm thinking here, you know, it's a very intense endgame. It's a lot, right? So, I'm thinking, what do I do? And I'm thinking I kind of need to get something going versus this. I think this is the mon that I've got to get set up versus. So I am going to withdraw. And I am going to bring in Hatterene here. And we're going to see, are you going to hit yourself 2 times in a row? And he doesn't. He gets the EQ off. Obviously, it doesn't do a tremendous amount. It does enough, don't get me wrong, but Hatterene is a beast. And I'm really like, this endgame is so intense. Like, it's very much against my favor, but you know, one turn and I get 2 Quiver Dancers. Like, obviously, I need 2 turns to get Quiver Dancers up, but if I get it up on his potential choke, like, this mon, Viv, that is, can just put in the work. So I decide I have to just go for it. I'm going to click Healing Wish here. Hatterene is going to sacrifice herself for the greater good to potentially get an end game going. The music has just intensified at the perfect time. So he's just going to click EQ with this mom. And I'm obviously going to give Hat the wish. Give Viv the wish. Jesus. Another option would have been Lando, but you know, I've committed to this Viv endgame, and Lando, let me just double check. But I doubt Lando is, is taking a Valiant hit. Like, it was 82 to 71, so you know, he could have gone an hour to Meow, got the damage he needs off, and then yeah. So I'm going to click Hurricane on his switch into Meowscarada, so I'm like, right, that's one piece of the game plan down. One piece of it down. I'm not falling for that trick twice, so down it goes, in it is. And this is the position I didn't really want to be in, but here we are. We're going to have to deal with it now. I was playing around to try and not get this situation, but here we are. I'm going to have to sack the Lando. Now, the one thing is, he doesn't know exactly what my Okie Dokie spread is. So, at this point, I'm thinking, you know, he's just going to click Moonblast three more times and win this game. So I actually say in my live com, you know, I'm going to go into Okie Dokie, and I'm going to play off this potential choke. And I'm going to obviously click Poison Jab. You know, I was like, maybe I live and I get a kill here or what. This was the wrong play. I clicked this button way too fast. If I clicked knockoff here, 2 things potentially happen. I knock off his specs, which means that he does not kill my VIVILLON. right? So my VIVILLON can then get up a Quiver Dance and go from there. However, the plea he does make, like on the potential that he doesn't kill me here, is going to Mew. This Mew, as we find out, is Expert Bell. So if I knocked this mon off, let me just double check the calc. This game happened a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure it was a case of, like, I had a pretty good chance of living this mon's hit. Obviously, I'm TERA ground. Yeah, so it was without any investment. It was like the min roll was 87, max roll being 103. So I had potential to live that hit. And if I played off that potential, I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't class as a choke. I mean, obviously at that point, Valiant just clicked Moonblast 3 times and won this game. But I can see why he switched out. But if I just played it and clicked knockoff, I had no reason not to there. I could have potentially lived this hit, got a Quiver Dance up, and there was potential for me to win this game. But we are going to fall 4-0. An intense 4-0 though. Cheers Sven for that battle, because that was mental. Like, I've been having a lot of fun with Mons recently, and that was definitely proving why. I think this game it's just been really fun. Like, it's super intense. The speed of these battles is just wild. This one being a little bit longer, but you know, still kept up that offensive side. I really, really enjoyed this. So, GG Sven, we are going to fall week 1, and we are going to fall 4-0, which is obviously not the best score, but I think it was a lot closer than the differential states. You know, it came down to I get a decent turn, and that was the game. But GG against the Sven. We're going to hopefully bounce back week 2. We are facing Patmac next week, and he's got a very scary team as well. But let's see. One thing to do now, I have in fact made a transaction. Now, I have in fact dropped Wigglytuff, RIP Wigglytuff, you will be missed, and I'm picking up Leavanny. Now, obviously I lose my normal type in that. However, I felt like web support was something that my team definitely benefited from. And I feel like with my offensive threats like Lando, even like Okidogi, Serraledge, I feel like those mons can definitely benefit from webs. Even VIVILLON, it just proves in this match, like if I had webs up, VIVILLON had such an easier time this game. So yeah, that's my transaction. Sorry Wigglytuff, you didn't even get a chance to shine, but I felt like I just want to keep up that offensive team presence for my squad. So yeah, that's going to be it. GG's again to Sven. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been DarudeLeafStorm, and I'll see you all later. Bye guys.